With President Trump's first term coming to an end, we're launching a special new segment to look back on everything that he's accomplished. So here's Roy Wood Jr. to begin our 4-part countdown of Donald Trump's 100 most tremendous scandals.
Scandals. Every president's had one. But while most presidents are only known for one big scandal, Donald Trump has truly changed the game. And that's why The Daily Show will be counting down Donald Trump's 100 most tremendous scandals. Over 4 days, we're gonna celebrate them all. The ones you forgot and the ones you wish you could. So buckle up, baby, because the Trump train's about to go off the rails.
President Trump expressed interest in buying Greenland.
And he went out and bought a big yacht. And he had a very interesting life. I won't go any more than that because you're Boy Scout, so I'm not going to tell you what he did.
The price tag for President Trump's July 4th salute to America is more than $5.3 million.
Members at MAR-A-LAGO are influencing how President Trump runs the Department of Veterans Affairs.
I gave him the kind of funeral that he wanted. I didn't get thank you, that's okay. He's looking down, he'd be so. Maybe he's looking up, I don't know.
Appearing to push aside the Prime Minister of Montenegro to get in front for a photo op.
Banning residents from enrolling in trusted traveler programs.
And ripping up memos, letters, things he's finished reading or does not like.
Threatened to bomb sites of cultural significance, an action that could be a war crime.
Someone as despicable as Hitler didn't even sink to using chemical weapons.
SCARAMUCCI said, "I'm not Steve Bannon. I'm not trying to suck my own."
China awarded 7 new trademarks to Ivanka Trump's company. It will not reveal its visitor logs.
You want to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional
Well, I would.
Caucus.
I tell you what. Do you want to set up the meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting? Frederick Douglass is an example of somebody who's done an amazing job and is being recognized more and more. You will be receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom. When you wash your hands, it takes you 5 times longer. You know, the water's not coming. You got soap, you can't get it off. I won't talk about the fact that people have to flush their toilet 15 times.
Greta must work on her anger management problem. Chill, Greta, chill.
I think there's probably, possibly drugs involved.
I love this guy right here.
Blasted the FBI over the Florida school shooting. They are spending too much time trying to prove Russian collusion.
Reducing the number of mail sorting machines and removing collection boxes.
You know, who gives a about the Christmas stuff and decoration, but I need to do it, right?
Damn, that's exhausting. And that brings us to tonight's final scandal, coming in at number 76. It involves the Secret Service, Saudi sheiks, and a hotel that gets a 1-star Yelp review from the U.S. Constitution. Before Donald Trump was in the Oval Office, he was in business. Every business.
Gentlemen, Oreo has rejected my bid, so we lick race for it, right here with double stuffed gold.
That's right. Our president likes his Oreos the way he likes his pants, double stuffed. So when Trump ran for president, it's no surprise that he saw dollar signs. During his campaign, candidate Trump paid businessman Trump nearly $12.5 million for expenses like airfare, office space, and meals. They even dropped $2 grand on Trump Ice, the only bottled water that's 100% Angus beef. The grift was going great until the unthinkable happened.
Donald J. Trump will become the 45th president of the United States.
Which was a problem, because the president's job is to protect and defend the Constitution or whatever, not to get rich. So Donald Trump selflessly promised the nation that he would give it all up.
My 2 sons are going to be running the company. They're not going to discuss it with me.
That's right. Trump would part with his precious businesses, and his only consolation, not having to talk to his sons. But much like those folders, Trump's promise proved to be empty.
The president-elect has decided he will not sell his assets or place them in a blind trust.
That's where things get conflicts of interest.
As president, he's been steering government money to his own companies for the entire time. And that means then to his own pockets. He spends nearly every weekend, as you know, at one of his golf clubs. Secret Service, they don't stay for free. He charges them to stay there. Federal spending records show the taxpayers have paid Trump's businesses more than $900,000 just since he took office.
Getting paid for vacations? This dude's a damn Instagram model. According to Eric Trump, who is officially running the family business while daddy focuses on the good of the country, the Trump organization only charges the Secret Service,
we charge them like, $50.
like $50 a night for a hotel room. But according to the receipts, the real bill is more than $650, which means they're either being way overcharged or there's one Secret Service agent who absolutely loves Toblerone. But upcharging suckers who have to stay at his property is one thing. The big bucks are in visitors who choose to stay there. Because you never know when lining the president's pockets might be the thing to get him to rewrite federal policy in your favor.
We know that foreign governments are spending money there in order to curry favor with the President of the United States.
The Philippines, Kuwait, the government of Saudi Arabia through its lobbyists paid for 500 nights and rooms. And we've seen corporate clients do it too. T-Mobile, which needs approval for a big merger from the Trump administration, they've spent more than $195,000 on rooms there.
Yes, foreign governments and corporations are greasing the Trump's palms. And from the looks of it, greasing their hair and faces too. Of course, Trump isn't the only one winning here. The president's financial entanglements with foreign governments have given Americans something better than money, the opportunity to learn what the emoluments clause is.
Emolument is basically a payment.
Yes, according to so-called lawyers familiar with the so-called Constitution, receiving money or gifts from foreign governments is illegal. But on the other hand,
you people with this phony emoluments clause
can't argue with that. And even if Trump loses in November, he will still be the first president to literally rake in billions of dollars while serving in office. Never before has a living president earned this many dead presidents.
I'm really rich.
You certainly are now. And if the national economy is lying in ruins at his feet, at least Donald Trump finally found a business he could be successful at.
If you're smart and persevere, there's a good chance you'll come out on top.
Cashing in on the presidency. I'm surprised Trump didn't just go all out. Why not just turn the Situation Room into an Airbnb? But that's all the time we have for tonight. Join us next time as we explore the world of masculine toilets, racist alligators, and alternative facts, as we continue to count down Donald Trump's 100 most tremendous scandals.